Hey guys, we're back for another quick episode of 10 Things You Missed, where I explore Drangleic with you. And as usual, let's make a game out of the like and the dislike system. If you learn something new, then you leave a like, and if you know everything, then you win, and you leave a dislike if that happens. This inspires me to find some really good facts, so don't feel guilty about it. There is some really weird stuff down in the pit, so decide if you're going to play the game, and let's get started. We're going to work our way down the pit, naming things till we end up at the very bottom. The first thing that you probably missed is hidden in the texture for the corrosive acid in this pit before the second bonfire. That's right, a discarded Heineken beer can is in this trash texture. And honestly, it's not that surprising that you missed this, because you know who else did? From Software did, and one day I hope that they noticed that they accidentally included a Heineken beer can texture within their trash texture. Well done, From, and congratulations, I guess, to Heineken for the free advertising. Second is something that very few people understand about the Rat Covenant. So when you're dragged into the world of a rat bro, you have huge odds against you. You have to deal with enemy players, you have to deal with traps, and you have to deal with 9,000 rats. But did you know that you don't have to kill the enemy player to succeed in this? Just run a quick 1-2 around the enemy player and enter the fog gate at the end of the stage to emerge victorious. You'll get a Pharos Lockstone, and you'll also zone in at the end of the stage. Now that you know this, you realize that it's actually kind of a good thing to get summoned into this situation, because there's no penalty upon your death, and you get the chance to bypass the entire stage. Number 3. If you play Dark Souls 2 offline, you will have come across Roy, a red phantom with a fetish for invisible gear. He's using an invisible shuttle, so be careful. Now, Roy only shows up when you play in offline mode, and he can drop the items you see on screen, but the true value of this NPC invasion comes when you're a part of the Champion's Covenant. As you might know, when you kill an invader as a part of the Champion's Covenant, you'll get an Ore Stone. These can be traded in at the Victor's Stone for the rewards on screen. Now, these Ore Stones take ages to get, and the biggest reward actually requires 50 of them. And 50 invasions will usually take a few playthroughs to accrue, since NPC Red Phantoms don't usually respawn when you rest at the bonfire. But Roy is different. He'll respawn 12 times after resting at the bonfire. Just go down and up this ladder and you trigger his arrival, and then kill him, rest at the bonfire, repeat this 12 times, then use a bonfire ascetic to reset his respawn. This is by far the fastest way to get all the Ore Stones required for the Victor's Covenant. To play Dark Souls 2 offline, if you're wondering, sign out of your account on your console or start Steam in offline mode. Thing you missed, number 4. There are red phantoms exclusive to New Game Plus down the pit, and they appear at the bottom of the drop after the exploding mummies. So one of these drops the Dingy set, which is exclusive to New Game Plus, and it resembles the Firekeeper's Dingy set from Dark Souls 1, down to the last detail. Even the skirt is bloodstained. So does this mean that this red phantom is Anastasia? There are a lot of links and callbacks to Dark Souls 1, but this is just one of those links that really confuses me from a lore perspective. Number 5. So we talked about how From had a Heineken beer can in one of their textures. Well, they've done it again. Look closely in one of these pillars of trash and you will see a car wheel. I know time is convoluted, but this shit is too much. Number 6. Now we get to some of my favorite ones. You know that heartbeat you hear as you arrive in the gutter? When you first arrive, you have to sort of wonder what it is. It really reminded me of the giant beating heart in Demon's Souls in the Tower of Latria, but no, it's not a heart. It's the statues. The statues that shoot poison appear to have this poison pulsing through them, because when you destroy the statues around you, you notice that the noise disappears, which is pretty damn cool. 7. Confused by the giant passive ant tucked away in the gutter? So was I on my first playthrough, and my second playthrough. According to the guide, this species is native to the land of Jugo. This ant queen became an experiment of Aldia's, but was discarded when it outlived its usefulness. So, what does it do? What purpose does it serve? Well, you see those fumes it's emitting? They cure poison. And you really have to hand it to From Software for making something that's so useful in this poison-filled level, so goddamn hard to figure out. The fumes also degrade equipment, but they do so extremely slowly. Number 8. If you walk slowly off the cliff near the second millipede creature, you'll fall onto a ledge, and on this ledge is a forgotten door, 3 of which can be found down the pit in Majula, accessed by dropping down to a lower ledge and going up a ladder. Within this door is Soul Vortex, some catalysts, and Great Lightning Spear. The forgotten door in the gutter will lead you to Havel's Armor, which is unfortunately just as common in Dark Souls 2 PvP as in Dark Souls 1 PvP. And finally, inside the forgotten door of the Gulch is Dark Diver Grandal, who can be found 3 times throughout the game to unlock a Covenant. So where's the key for these doors? Well, it's down one more ledge from the one you're on right now. You drop down and you enter this cave with 2 elite giants, who I strongly suggest you take out with ranged attacks, since I'm sure everyone here has been affected by their ridiculous hitbox. They drop a key, they drop a giant soul, and you can also find a Ring of Giants +1 down here. The next 2 points are to do with the Rotten. So, number 9. The Rotten embraces all in the sanctuary for all things unwanted or tossed away. Comprised of hollows, there's one in particular who deserves special attention. The one on his left shoulder. This one dude mimics every action the Rotten makes, or maybe he's the one controlling the Rotten mass. And number 10. Did you know that the Rotten's arms can be cut off to reduce his lethality? Cut off his right and he'll lose the butcher's knife. Cut off his left and he won't be able to do his smash or his grab. And he'll also drop a Pharos Lockstone. The Rotten has a few interesting things going on with him. In New Game Plus, he has the soul of an old dead one, which was Nito's soul in Dark Souls 1. This is a soul that aggregates things together to become a whole. Also, if you wait outside his fog gate, you can hear him crying. And as you arrive, he's trying to fix one of those statues. And lastly, the idea of him dropping a Pharos Lockstone also raises a few more questions, so if you want to hear about all the stories of the things down the pit, then check out this video where I tell those stories. It's actually really interesting. So I hope you enjoy that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.